And I am back. 2 videos ago, they shut down my machine, my phone. Said it was not charged, and I know I should have taken a picture of it, like print screen the front, so that, I can prove that it had a full charge, and you would know what time it is when I did it. So they took the charge and I plugged it up, and I did a video. I did the end of this, and I did this whole video here. Satanic sexual agenda by this nigga, and I did his name and everything. And I go back to my phone to get it, and it is not there. And it was 2, and they're not there. So guess what? I'm going to do it over, and it will be better. Fuck them. I have nothing else to do, and they know it. He said when they wasn't in ministering duty to the universe, these gods were having sex with little boys. It is written. It is written.
Lesbianism in black women is intimately connected with a hatred for black men. It's also intimately connected in some systems for a hatred for black womanhood.
And why? Why is it intrinsically connected for them to hate the black male and the black female? What the fuck is that? Do you want to turn sticky keys? No. I don't even know what that is. I must have had my arm on something. Anyway, this is a mental disorder. He even tells you that it is a mental disorder up until the early 70s, when they stopped it from being a mental disorder to being what KINsey called it. You are okay, God. Nothing is wrong with you, but this was taught to us. And what happened that this was taught to us? I go all the way back to the bombing of Black Wall Street. It was not called Black Wall Street because they dealt with the Moors. If anything, it was Moors Street. But it was not black. They did not even identify themselves with black at the time. We were not identified as being black people until the 60s, I think. So why would we call ourselves black all the way back in the 1920s when pink people gave us that name anyway? Now, once they bombed us, a lot of things happened in between, but our people went to Red Cross, the worst place you can go. Why? And they went to the Red Cross for their food, their shelter, and clothing, as though they had forgotten how to build. They could have rebuilt. But they were all traumatized. They did not know bombs were coming. No one warned them that bombs were coming. So they were traumatized, and that's what pink people do. They will traumatize the fuck out of you, as they did my children. And then they will come and they will want to be your friend. They will be there to help you, and this is how we begin to trust them. And there are words in the word trust. Rust is in there, and because the pink people are rusty. But also United States is in the word trust, and that is even on the back of their dollars, the word trust. In God we trust. So it's in God we, United States, rust, and we'll fuck over the melanated man with our rusty asses. I'm just going to do this bigger and better. They just fucked up.
You have to remember that the black woman was masculinized at the same time that the black man was emasculated.
And when did they do this? It had to be after so-called Black Wall Street. And I'm going to use Black Wall Street because that is what everyone is used to. Black Wall Street. So they had to do this after Black Wall Street, and we went into the Red Cross.
So a lot of black women feel that they can never embody what it truly means to be beautiful, what it truly means to be feminine.
And who taught us what it truly means to be beautiful and what it truly means to be feminine? Who taught us these things? Pink people. We do not know of our own because we have forgotten our memory, and our culture is all gone. I have not forgotten mine.
So many of them have decided to live their lives as men
My sister Deborah is a lesbian. However, my sister Deborah has been programmed through the military, MK Ultra, and military programs to be gay. However, my sister Deborah was molested by an old-ass man. He was in a wheelchair. He was not kin to us, but his son was our godfather. But my sister did not tell this story until years later, and that man was dead. There was nothing that we could do. There was nothing that we can do about it because he was dead. And we no longer even knew where our godfather was, so he probably was dead too. But she was molested, and I know she was molested, and she's not going to tell me that lie.
Another adult women in their life undergo and certain experiences that they have had with the men themselves. A lot of lesbians who I know were sexually molested as little girls by men who they loved and trusted.
See? And there's two words. By men that they loved and trusted. And these two words are is part of neurolinguistic programming to keep the melanated man with the word love. But it should not be love. It should be charitable. And that is what is in their book. Charity. It does not say love. And it says charity is not jealous. It's not boastful. Some more things that are negative. But when you get to love, it's all is fair in love and war. There is no war in charity. Why would you need a war when you are charitable? No one needs a war when they are charitable. You only need wars when people are greedy and they want to be part of the material realm.
So unlike many of my brothers and sisters, I don't believe they should be ostracized.
You heard what he said? Another word. I don't believe they should be ostracized. No, I did not ostracize my sister until she began to allow her handler to use her in this program against me. And I told her that I'm not going to be calling you because anytime I call anyone, they never answer. So I said she can call me, and she just doesn't. She was only calling when she would go into the crazy house or when she was in jail. So it's like she only called me when you're going through hell. No, don't just call me when you're going through hell. I want to know about your heaven too.
Mistreated, rounded up and killed, as I said.
No, my sister should not be mistreated, rounded up, and killed. But the invisible ones should be mistreated, rounded up, and put back in a fucking cage where they cannot get out. And just let them drive out. They will drive out and they will die. Without the melanated man, they will fucking die. And they would have died if the Egyptian would not have went and got them.
Homosexuality and lesbianism is a mental disorder, and it can be cured and treated just like any other mental disorder. You can cure homosexuality, you can cure lesbianism. It's not a biological disease, it's psychological. And the reason why a lot of black
I'm going to listen to his reason before I say something.
people think they were born that way is the same reason why a lot of black people think they're inferior to white people. You've been going around thinking and believing something so long that it becomes your...
Be thinking something so long that it becomes, and I know he's going to say, your reality. Believe, because they gave us this belief system. We had it before our birth. Once we went back to them, the Red Cross, then we begin to start believing, and they will tell us God did this to you because we are all God's children. We are all creatures of God. I am not a creature, motherfucker. The pink people are creatures. Melanated people, we are not creatures. We are creators. And they would tell our people, this is why you did it. And then they would bring that Bible out again the same way they did in slavery. And they would browbeat our people, and our people begin to believe, because that is what is in the Bible so many times, especially the New Testament. Believe. If you just believe on his name, but you don't give me a name to believe on, who the fuck does that? Neanderthal bastards.
reality. It's not true reality. It's your reality. They're not born that way. There's very little proof to substantiate that.
My sister was not born that way. She was born in a military hospital in Kentucky. And they are programming her. They have programmed her. My sister is zombie-sized now. So are my parents, so are my sisters, so are my children. So I live in a world of zombies, and that is so sad that I have no one to talk to but myself. So I talk in the camera.
Most of the so-called evidence that is out there, because there's no conclusive proof, there's only evidence, is being sponsored by homosexual groups. So it's already biased because it's being put out by people who are trying to advance, their own set of beliefs. The bottom line is this: forget nature and nurture. The bottom line is this: is it advantageous for our black women, for so many black men to be gay? Period.
Why would they play that music? I don't like when they play music and you are talking. Why? Only 1 out of 4 black women get married. He is still calling us black and he is calling them white when we are melanated and they are non-melanated. We are human and they are mankind. This is another neuro-linguistic programming to keep us away from the words we need and to use the words that they gave us. Now, being married, and when he says that, that will take us down the Neanderthal culture, the pink people culture. We don't get married like they get married. But a lot of women will get married that way, and men too, because they need to be accepted by the pink people in their culture. I say fuck the pink people and fuck their culture. I still remember my culture now, remember my culture till the day I die. Whether they stick me in people's houses and I cannot, and I cannot deal with my culture. My culture is always in my mind. It stays in my mind. It stays in my heart. And the word heart is EAT. My culture stays in my ear. My culture stays in my pineal gland. That they cannot have. You cannot have my pineal gland, you brain-eating Neanderthal bastards.
How does that help our system? How does that help the community? How does that help our children? How in the hell do you prepare for a war of white supremacy when most of your men want to have sex with?
How can you prepare for a war of white supremacy when most of your men possibly is going to say want to have sex with another man? But they are not white supremacy. They are pink supremacy. If you are going to use the word, then use the word right. They are pink. They are not white. So, although Owen Johnson speaks some of the truth, he is still keeping us under a spell, and he does not know it. I won't be able to tell him because I possibly will never meet him. He will possibly never see this video. And if he did, he probably would think I am speaking bad about him when I say he is keeping our people under neuro-linguistic programming. But I'm not speaking bad about him because if you don't know, you don't know. I did not know either. And he has a lot of beliefs because he keeps talking about things he believes. And the things he is saying he believes, I bet you an amount of money he knows it. And if you know something, you do not need to believe it. The white man is supposed to be something. The white man is full of shit. See this pink bastard? He is not white. That is fucking pink. I am so tired of hearing people call them white. I am also tired of hearing people call our children, melanated children, kids. And as I said, they knocked off the other video that I did. This one is 14 minutes and some seconds long, so I'm going to stop it and see if I can find where I started in this video of the videos that they took from me.